How's everyone doing this fine evening in the great land of drunken food? And on tonight's menu, actually before I get to that, I want to apologize to everybody. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus lately for about the past 3 weeks, maybe a month or so. Well, my editing guy decided he needed to get fucking married. And so we haven't had time. We'll put a picture up there, right here, with the groom, his lovely bride in, of course myself, you know, little pudding sandwich there. In the middle, of course. I wanted to give a shout out to Cody Miller, an acquaintance of mine. He's an alright guy. He hooked me up with a monkey shoulder. It's a Scotch. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not a very avid Scotch drinker. I think honestly Scotch sucks. I think Scotch is for rich assholes that sit around a table, try to find out who they're gonna bribe to get their dumb fuck kid into an Ivy League school. That's kind of my take on it, but we're gonna give it a shot. And speaking of that, I'm going to do something I usually don't ever do with whiskey. I'm actually going to put ice in. Depends on the taste. I might actually add some water to this bitch. But we got that going on. So, on the menu tonight, we're going to do chicken tacos. So, we've got just some pretty simple recipe, if you even call it that. We got boneless skills chicken breast. We got 5 pounds. We're going to boil it. We're not going to cook it 100% of the way through while we're boiling. After it's done boiling, we're going to shred it up, throw it in here with some sauteed onions. We got some fresh cilantro that I took off all the sprigs and stems and all that stuff. We're going to top it with some crumbled up queso fresco, top it with some red onions, squeeze a little bit of lime juice in there, get some sour cream. Then obviously if you want hot sauce, then we also have this Ortega taco sauce. Kind of your own thing, whatever you want to do. As I would say, stick around. Stay hydrated. Alright folks, as I said, we have some boneless skinless chicken breast we're going to boil up. It shouldn't take too long. We're waiting for the water to come up to start boiling. Just to kind of update the flavor, enhance it rather. It's going to do about 2 tablespoons of this LB Jameson's chicken flavored mix there. A couple of dabs will do ya. And said once we get that boiled, said shred it. We'll have some sweet yellow onions sauteed up with some olive oil and butter and what have yous. Get all that thrown together, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, lime juice, what have you, cilantro, would be perfect. Meal it together. Oh, just actually, 1 second here. I had a comment on the last video. Tara Barrientos, she mentioned that Sam's Club has a really good garlic parmesan butter. And just want to give her a shout out that, watch out for the next video. We'll have that featured on the next video. Didn't do it this time just because we're going not necessarily 100% Mexican flair, but obviously chicken taco is going to have a little bit of Mexican flair to it. It's not supposed to be authentic in any way because, well, it's my show, my fucking recipe, and that's how I'm going to make them. Anyway, yeah, to Tara, just keep a lookout for the next video, and it'll be featured. So we're going to get probably put 2 of these in there right now, and then we'll throw the chicken in, obviously. I mean, hell. A little bit of that. Give it a little stir around there. And I appreciate you folks being patient here. And actually, I think I almost forgot our other unpaid corporate sponsor, Dos Equis. I figured. Haven't had it on the show yet, and it's a Mexican beer, so it's not supposed to be authentic, but a little Mexican flair, if you will. And I will say, by the way, this monkey shoulder scotch, it's actually, for scotch, it's pretty good. I don't have to add any water to it. I mean, ice seemed to kind of do the trick. I don't know if I really like it room temperature per se, but a little bit of ice makes it all nice. So, you know, we'll have a dab of each, and then we'll get the chicken thrown in there and get this fucking show on the road. I'm gonna be quite honest with you folks, I have no idea what the fuck to say right now. I had all kinds of stuff running through my mind, wanting to talk about, chat about. But as the evening goes on and the more drunk I get, I'll probably babble on like an idiot, probably ramble. But for now, this is about all you're going to get. A little bit of talking and a whole lot of cooking and a whole lot of drunken. And as I mentioned earlier, how we took that little hiatus for a while. And also with my work schedule, it's not the same as my buddies, so I kind of have to do this just kind of when I can. But hopefully, we're gonna be able to crank out some more content. You know, bring some more to you guys on a more regular basis. I don't think anyone else can get fucking married in our group. There's a couple of people, no, 3 of them, or maybe more, are already fucking married. So hopefully we don't gotta worry about that shit for a while. Time will tell. Time will tell. Anyhow, stay tuned, and I promise you we'll bring a little bit more comedy, a little bit more of a whimsy to the proceedings. Stay tuned. Alright everybody, we have the chicken that's, like I said, it's probably cooked about 75% through, maybe 80% through. It's in that LB Jameson's chicken-based chicken broth. We got the onions sauteing on some medium to low heat. It's a whole yellow sweet onion. Did a half stick of butter and palm full of olive oil. I'm not good at measurements, so fuck it. But anyhow, here's a few minutes. We're gonna shred up the chicken, get it thrown in with this, slow cook the shit out of it for a while, and that's when it'll kind of all come together, easy peasy. And then we'll kind of give the tortillas a little treatment. We're just gonna get a griddle out, throw it on the stove here, warm them up, put a little bit of color, a little bit of marks on the tortillas, and we'll plate and assemble, or assemble and plate. Easy peasy. There we go. We have the onions cooked down quite a bit, not all the way. As you can see, I'm shredding the chicken. It's cooked, actually probably damn near 100% all the way through. I could let it on just a little bit too long, but it'll be all good. I am going to throw some of the boiling broth water that it was boiling in. I'm going to throw that in with some of this, kind of juicing it up just a little bit more. I do want to do a little sidetrack here. Something very funny just happened. My cameraman, I don't know if you folks know, he's not an average human being. He's kind of a gargantuan fuck. 6'5"-ish, 300 pounds, in that area. You know, big old sumbitch. John Coffey type motherfucker, you know? Well, here's the thing. I'm a normal sized fucking person, well, maybe a little bit under for height wise, but normal-ish. This motherfucker gets up, hits his head on my ceiling fan. You. Yeah, he ain't very happy about it, but it brings me joy. To be honest, I like him, but kind of fucking funny. I just had to bring that up to you guys. He did it about fucking 2 minutes ago. And I do want to bring up that this chicken got done boiling probably fucking 20 minutes ago and is still hotter than fuck to shred. But the pain and agony it causes me and Josh's forehead for hitting the fucking fan, it's all for you folks in the YouTube world. All the stuff that we do is for you people. We want to make sure you guys get drunk, maybe partake in some illegal drugs. I do not, because, well, can't say it on camera. But I do want you folks to get as drunk as I do, because it makes everything better. It's a proven fact of life. I've said it once before, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. Thins the blood, makes unfunny people funny, makes ugly motherfuckers halfway attractive, but I'm not interested in that per se. I'm not at all anymore. But it does make ugly motherfuckers attractive. Makes you forget about your problems. Now you may say, well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't, Puddin. Or Adam, that's my actual name for people that didn't know on this channel. So it doesn't make you forget about your problems. This is the temporary solution. Well, in the great words of Charlie Sheen on 2.5 Men, it's only temporary if you stop drinking. I don't plan on stopping drinking. If your other assholes want to, man, that's your call. I wouldn't recommend stop drinking. So make you see the world for what it is. Big old shitstorm of bullshit and poppycock. That is about it. Anyway, Next time you see me, this chicken will be all shredded. We'll be warming all this stuff through, put some marks on it, color, this, that, and the other. See, I made it wrong, I can do it every time. We'll be doing that, then we'll get the tortillas going. We'll get everything plated, squared away, and that'll be the end of this special edition, perfect episode of Drunken Food with Puddin. Stay tuned and stick around. Already I told you when you'd be back, folks, that we'd have the chicken all shredded, ready to go. And we have some of that juice that it was boiling in, that LB Jameson with a little bit of water. We're going to throw in a pack, maybe 2 packs, actually just a regular mild taco seasoning. Nothing too fancy, nothing specific here. We get the heat rolling kind of hot here. Get this just a going. Figure in the meantime I'd chat with you folks just a little bit. I kind of mentioned it in other videos. I kind of like to know how everyone's doing out there. If you guys want to leave a comment, any recommendations as far as any alcohol ingredients or the main entree, as whatever you see fit to leave, I'll do my best to answer them. I'm getting a lot better at that now. I know that when we first started this out, we didn't have our shit together, but we're kind of slowly but surely getting everything going. So any comment you leave, I'll try to reply to it as soon as I can. And yeah, who knows? I mean, if it's either alcohol or food based, whichever, we'll try to get on the show at some point. It might be the next video. It might be a little bit down the road. Just depends on what we're doing, what we have on the menu, so to speak, for upcoming videos. But so long story short, we have so we're gonna throw the taco seasoning and that water mixture in, and also we've got there 2 full limes. We got wedged, cut up and wedged. We're gonna squeeze in there as well. And as you remember, we do have those onions underneath that we're sauteing and cooking low and slow for quite a while. So there should be a lot of good flavor built into this. Like I said, we just got a little bit of sounding on that. It's a good thing. Get this going. It's gonna finish up cooking. So I got about 5 pounds of chicken in here. I think it kind of overestimated. I got a few people over. Actually, it's not a few people. It's just both my buddies and their wives, their lady friends, so to speak. I thought there'd be a couple more people here tonight.
You got it right the first time. Wives.
I know. They are legally they're their wives. They love them, I think. I don't know. I think they do. But as I said, we're gonna let this go for a few minutes. I'll get back with you folks as we throw everything together. And remember, you gotta stay hydrated. So that's what I'm gonna do. Time for rehydration. All right, you fine folks. We added the broth, the seasoning. We're gonna do a little bit of lime juice rather right now. We'll just heat just like that. We added 1 wedge. We might add 2 full limes to this thing. We're gonna see how it goes. So this is 5 pounds of chicken, so we shall see. And then this is just when the chicken's about perfectly done, in my opinion, perfectly. Yours and mine may differ. We're gonna add the cilantro, just like I said, probably just for about a minute, 2 minutes maybe, hell, maybe even 3, but no more than that. The good thing is drunken food, so you're gonna have some good leeway because it's, well, you're drunk, so who gives a fuck? But yeah, you don't want the cilantro like cooking down like crazy. But yeah, it should be a couple of minutes, give or take. But we'll add at least 1 whole lime into this worth of juice. And I don't have a juicer. I mean, I ain't rich. I'm just a state employee, people. I tell you what, I can barely afford to pay attention. I ain't shitting you. This watch, they ain't a real Rolex. I ain't kidding. It's a Citizen, but it ain't a fucking Rolex. And assholes, the state don't pay me enough. Well, technically they do, but that's actually just that's discretionary. If you think so or not. I don't think I get paid enough. Some assholes think I get paid too much. I ain't gonna get into it. Anyway, so we got a little taco seasoning. Get this chicken just a little steam, little color, this, that, and the other. Like I said, I'm a poet, didn't even know it. I can bust a rhyme every single time. So we'll cook this up for another This chicken will probably go for like another 8-10 minutes. Then we'll throw in the cilantro for another 1-2 minutes, give or take. And that'll be it. We'll plate after we warm up them tortillas on the griddle. Then we're good to go. Alright folks, as I promised, we have the chicken all squared away, good to go. We have the griddle heating up. So this one, the tortillas up. We're not going to make them crispy, fried, anything crazy. But we have 2 bundles, pretty much 2 bundles, maybe probably 1 3/4, give or take, full of fresh, fucking good old delicious fucking herb here. We're going to throw in there. I know it's cilantro. I said it 10,000 times. I know it's cilantro. Folks, even though I said it 10,000 times in the first part of the video, we have 1 3/4 bundles of cilantro we're going to throw in with the chicken. And it is going to be a lot. It's going to look like a lot. It's going to cook down pretty well. I really need all that. Probably just 1 1.5. Cook it down just a little bit. So it's only going to cook for a couple of minutes probably. So it's fresh cilantro. It's not going to take very long. Doesn't look beautiful. I mean, fucking seriously, I tell you what. Don't get me wrong. People like Gordon Ramsay and Bobby Flay, they know how to make a fucking meal, but doesn't it just look great? God damn. I'm still waiting on that call, by the way. If Bobby Flay wants to challenge me to a cook-off, depending on what it is, I'll accept. I'm kind of a pussy. I'm not going to make fucking duck l'orange for him. Well, that's the thing, though. First video that you have made, I kind of explained that I don't know what the fuck duck l'orange is. Well, hey, pup. And my buddy's pup decided to stop over. She's alright. She's alright, anyhow. So, we get that cooking. Get these tortillas. Listen, there's no oil, there's no butter on here. Just kind of warm them up just a little bit. So we're not looking for necessarily a crust or anything. Then we'll top them, plate them, and that'll be the end of another successful episode of Drunken Food with Puddin. Alright folks, as I promised, we have everything squared away. We have some tortillas warmed over here. We have 2 tacos already made up. Right here we got a little lime wedge. I just want to say I appreciate all your views. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. We'll try to get to them as soon as we can. I'm going to have me Uno Moss beverage of this. Crush a little bit of that. We'll do the final bite and that'll be it. Just a little bit of lime wedge on top of it already. I don't want a ton of lime juice on top of it. And so we'll grab one. We'll kind of see what happens. Maybe, if I can grab the fucking thing. Like I said, thanks for staying with. Thanks for stopping by, checking our videos in our channel. And that is another episode of Drunken Food with Puddin. Pretty fucking good. Pretty fucking good. Alright. We're out.